everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Pufftastic, but you can call me Puff. So today in this video I'm doing a hair tutorial due to high demand. One person asked me in the comments of my last video, which may I add did extremely well, and I thank you all. I got around 30 new subscribers, more than that. I'm insanely grateful for the support you've given me and helped me reach 600. I'm not that far off. Before I start the video, I'd like to say a massive thank you to serenseesitall, I think I've pronounced that correctly, I'm not sure, for making the watermark present in this video. Link to the channel will be in the description. Okay, that's over, bye. So, if I'm being completely honest, I'm not completely sure how to go about this other than recording what I'm doing in the background and showing you my process, since I don't particularly do anything in any specific order. But for starters, I'm going to tell you the brushes I use. So, I use Clip Studio Paint, and if you don't use Clip Studio Paint, then you can always search online for the closest alternative if you want the same sort of effect, which is probably why you're here. I use predominantly the dense watercolour brush, which comes with Clip Studio Paint when you trial or buy it. Secondly, I use my line art brush for smaller details and add a little bit of texture to parts of the work. My line art brush is modified, and I will be putting the modifications for that brush on screen now. If you're interested in modifying brushes of your own in Clip Studio Paint and you're struggling, feel free to message me on Instagram and I can run through it with you, because I've done a few but I'm not that good at them. But I will add, this is not like a sponsor or anything, but I do really recommend Clip Studio Paint. They have a lifetime plan which you can pay about, it was around £30 for me I think at the time. They do sales on them, so it is really worth it, and you don't have to pay monthly. I hate paying monthly for things, and I've used this for around about 3 years, and it is really good, and it's better than I found Ibis Paint to be. So if you've got any kind of device, then feel free to trial it. There's quite a long trial on it, but anyway, I'm going off track. When I'm shading hair, I choose 3 main colours to work with. For a deeper analysis on that, check out my previous video on colour theory, where I go more in depth about colour and how to utilise that in your work. But for this specific drawing, I wanted something bright and colourful, and due to Official's hair being blonde, I thought I'd like it to have a kind of strawberry blonde undertone, so I incorporated pinks into her hair. A tactic I use if I'm struggling to pick a colour is by choosing pink for this specific drawing and not applying too much pressure to the dense watercolour brush, and colour picking the slightly dimmed down version of that colour and applying it all over the hair. It's a neat cheat to colour theory in a way, and I use it a lot now to increase the speed of my workflow. When it comes to hair shading, taking note of the pressure you apply to your brush can also be really essential to getting the look that you want for your work. For me personally, I struggle to make things look like glossy and blended without making my work look messy and murky, so I usually try layering to my advantage, as you see me doing in the background. Take note of how I apply colours and break down the layers. Skipping back parts of the video may also be useful in identifying steps as to how I got from one place to the next, because it's essentially just layering. I'd say this took around an hour or just over to complete. I could check in the footage, but I don't want to. I did a tiny bit off camera, but it's not enough that it impacts your perspective from a viewer. Just trying to learn and break it down. I also always separate my shading into 2 segments. Shading clip to layer and painting over top. I've been painting over the top of my art for around half a year or so now, and the purpose of it is to add more originality to my work and also clean up mistakes. I know I'm not the only person that does this, don't come at me. I've made on the layer below. I also find painting styles very pretty, but I don't want to give up line art, so I do a bit of both where I can. Adding individual strands to my renders helps to improve my work and also make it look more unique, and also adds to that layers equals detail rule I always do. So think of it as the base shading is an ice cream and the painting is the cherry on top. It's not essential, but it makes things look pretty and makes my work appear more finished to me. I almost never use any special layers for my work, so no effects and special layers. If I do, it's usually just the add glow effect, which is in like most applications, which I've used in my drawings like Mona. I can't really think of any others. I only really utilise it in very specific drawings, like when I'm working with darker hair. I also have no specific order I do things in that I'm finishing, other than when I'm finishing off with the painting over the top of the layer, because I can't really do it the other way around. I always just do what I feel like doing, and the style of work I do doesn't really require like a really strict order in terms of what you're doing, so it's not overly structured. Concluding this, I feel as though your best option to working out how I shade is through observation and watching me actually complete the process in the background. You can work out it through my finished pieces just by breaking down my colours and positioning of them, but I hope my explanation was at least useful to anyone who struggles visually or is more of a beginner or just doesn't use brushes that would create the same kind of effect. Once again, if you're struggling with colour, watch my other video. I've got nothing but positive feedback on it, so it should be useful. Thank you all so much for the recent support. Discord link in the description. Come on down, we're lots of fun. I should hopefully be redoing some sprites for this channel eventually and be posting some more draw with me soon. Hopefully I can finish this drawing soon. I've been working on it so long and I'm tired of it. Anyway, I won't hold you any longer and have a great day. Subscribe and I'll see you next time. Bye! Okay, that bye made me sound like a psychopath, but bye. Subscribe.